And then
And what are you making per day, like right now, like today?
today I'm probably past 700 in revenue.
What's up, Victor, man? How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. Good to see you.
So I'm glad I got you on here today. It's a little Sunday afternoon. Get a little break in the action here. Wanted to kind of talk to you real quick. You're one of the first students that joined our lead gen affiliate program, and I think you had a business partner, Eric, right, when you guys joined, and you guys kind of worked out a deal with us to come in as a partner, like a team. And I know you had a little bit of experience before you got into our program doing some affiliate marketing. What made you join the lead gen affiliate program?
It was mostly the Pinterest side of it, right? So I was interested in learning the Pinterest. I had some dabbling in Facebook. I had some success there. So I had those campaigns where you're doing 1,000 a day. But Pinterest was kind of like the area where it was the unknown. So I needed somebody to kind of like pave the way to show me what's working, what's not. And Ross,
And you joined Pinterest because you were kind of sick of Facebook with the account shutdowns, or what was the reason?
yeah, I mean, I was running weight loss. I was getting banned all the time.
Hmm.
I was running lead gen. But Pinterest struck my interest because I realized, hey, I can run ClickBank on Pinterest. Okay,
Sure.
let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. Well, we know ClickBank offers convert, especially in certain niches like the diet niche. Most of the people on Pinterest are women, and obviously that's a big buyers of the diet type of programs. We run a number of other offers that convert very well on ClickBank as well. And so tell me how it kind of went. You started going through the course, and then when did you actually start running some traffic on Pinterest? Was it right away? Did it take a little while? How did it progress for you through the program?
Okay. Yeah, I bought the course. I just binged on it. So literally within a week, Ross actually opened all the modules for me. So
By the way, Ross, for anybody who's watching, is my full-time media buyer and business partner, and we teach the course together. So
yeah. So Brian was doing a section, Ross was doing a section, and I kind of like hit it off with Ross like really quick. He was super easy to work with, super available. So I said, hey, look, I want to jump in right now. I'm going to do this whole thing right now. So within a week, I went through the whole course, and I launched a campaign, I think the second week. And ever since then, it was kind of like, learning, going back and forth with Ross. And that's the cool thing about having, Ross and Brian. They're just like literally available. And I told Brian before, I was like, look, I bought in because I wanted access to you guys. I think that's one of the biggest things.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember you showed me a spreadsheet, and it took a while to get profitable. It wasn't like out the gate, right? Like we gave you guys basically a done for you campaign, we call that. And we've actually proven that campaign. We've actually ran it. We've made money with it. We haven't run it for a while, but we know it works. So what we did is we put that in the course. You said, hey, here's a campaign that we've run before. We know it works. Go ahead and take it. And then you did that. You were one of the first students that actually took the campaign and actually just put it in action. And then, tell me how the progression went of that.
Yeah, so I knew it was a winning campaign because I saw the numbers. And since I was new to Pinterest, I was like, well, let me just do this whole thing. Like I'll plug and play. Literally, Ross walked me through the whole thing. Brian helped out as well. And it was like, you walk through the whole thing. You just plug these things in, literally plug and play. And I think it took me a little bit, but within I think like $1,000, I was already seeing some progress. I have
you have $1,000 in your ad spend, right?
Yeah.
You started seeing some return a little bit on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as soon as I got my first conversion, I was like, okay, this works. In the beginning, it was just like hitting a wall, right? And if there was nobody like Ross to tell me, hey, like this works, you just keep trying, I would have probably quit.
Sure.
But since I knew it worked, I was like, I'm in. So, and that's kind of like where the breakthrough was. If I was exploring it on my own, I'd probably quit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing most people don't understand about, especially nowadays, because Facebook, Pinterest, Snapchat, Google, any traffic source is so competitive. Okay, you're rarely ever going to take any campaign and just put it up and start making money day one. It just doesn't exist. I mean, if it does exist, that's like a unicorn, man. There's one out there somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But the way the traffic sources work nowadays and the way things work, you want it, you know, you set it all up and you're like all excited, and then you get there and then you might get one conversion on like $100 ad spend, and you're like scratching your head like, shit, does this really work? But as you've noticed, and as most people that are watching this video need to understand, is these traffic sources are like artificial intelligence, okay? And it takes data for them to work properly, okay? So in order for Pinterest, for example, in your case, or Facebook, or any other traffic source like Google, in order for that traffic source to really start giving you the traffic that you need to be successful, you have to give it data, and you have to spend money, your own money, to get that data, okay? And that's where most people kind of go wrong, is they think that they're just going to drop in $100 and it's going to spit out money like a slot machine in Vegas, but that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, maybe in 2015 when Facebook was like a lot easier to advertise on and you could throw a diet up offer up there and people would buy it, that was a different story. Okay, but those days are long gone. You can't run those kind of offers on Facebook anymore, and Facebook is more expensive. Okay, so let's be realistic. So take me through the first like maybe like 20 days or 30 days of your campaign. I know you were running traffic and you were kind of negative, and then you started seeing some conversions coming in, and then progressively, you got more and more conversions until the point where you hit like a break even. And then, you know, tell me about that.
Okay, so in the beginning, I linked up with Ross and Brian on the Facebook side. So Facebook, it was also like the done for you. Hey, take this campaign, launch it. You know, here's the steps. Literally use this targeting. I think that's one of the most important things, like targeting. Figure this out. So it was kind of like, you know, it was all there. Excuse me. So Facebook was obviously something I already knew. So I plugged it in. I was literally profitable with that campaign within the first week. I think within like $100 of ad spend. Pinterest is where it was like, okay, I spent $500. I'm not really hitting anything, but I didn't know how the optimization works until I really went back and forth with like Ross, and he explained to me, hey, you just need to stick this through. This works. I mean, because I would get on the call and be like, hey, Ross, like, here's what my CPCs are. Here's where my CTR is. This is what my landing page is. These are my pins that I'm using. Like, what's wrong here? And he would just coach me right through. So I think within the first week, I think I spent about 500 just testing different audiences, running it differently. And then I was like, okay, I need some help. So that's where the coaching came in. And I think I gave it another week, and I think I had my first conversion. And I sent you the spreadsheet, literally my ad spend, my revenue, all my metrics.
You kept track like diligently day by day.
Yeah, so it was all there. And literally you can see like after the second week, I started getting the conversions, and then it just took off. Like it was kind of like scalable at that point where I was able to add more ad spend, add more creative. And
what are you making per day, like right now, like today?
Today, I'm probably past 700 in revenue. I got to check my spend, but I should be up like probably profiting like 300 or something like that.
$300 a day on average, I think you told me the other day. And if you do that, if you can consistently stay at that number for a month, that's $10,000 a month, which is $9,000 roughly a month, which is, you know, one campaign that we basically handed you guys in the course, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, you're learning about like what works on Pinterest, you know what I'm saying? Like that skill you have now, you can apply to other campaigns, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what to do, you know, and that price of that is not, there's no price on that, you know what I'm saying? That knowledge you have now, you can't buy. I mean, you have to learn it yourself. You have to see it.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Taking something that works, having the people that can guide you through the process. If you don't know Pinterest, like this is a no-brainer. If you don't know Facebook, the amount of detail that you guys go into, it's like no other. And this is not my first course either.
Right.
So,
I mean, we took a campaign in there in the course, and we showed you where we were from the beginning, and then we optimized it and we made it profitable, you know? So, I mean, that's like pretty much like step by step what we did to make profit. So a lot of guys out there, they talk a game or whatever, but when we actually show you guys how to do it, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like this is how you do it step by step. We've done it so many times. We've had so many successful campaigns. And it's harder. It's gotten harder. I mean, I'm going to be the first to admit that today in the landscape that we're in it's tough, you know, but you have, I think you told me now you got like 4 campaigns running right now. 2 Facebook, 1 Pinterest, or what? 3
Yeah.
Facebook? Yeah. So, you're a little bit of more experience maybe than the average guy that comes into our course, but you were able to take the information and roll with it. And now, obviously I think you feel like you got your money's worth for sure, hopefully.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
For sure. So we're actually talking to Victor, by the way, for everybody that's watching, about maybe coming onto our team and buying media for us on a couple other offers we're working on. So, for those of you out there that are looking for other opportunities, go through the course, get the success, and then you might even have an opportunity to come on to a successful team of people that have been doing this for, 4 and 5 years. So pretty cool stuff. So yeah, so that was, that was awesome, Victor. I mean, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me. What was cool about that, the Pinterest campaign, and I wanted to mention, is Ross and I, we actually, when we first started Pinterest, we spent 10 grand on a campaign. We bought a working campaign from this guy. It didn't work. Okay. And I told Ross, I'm like, bro, we got 10 grand in this thing, man, figure it out. And so he literally spent another 10 grand of my money. So we had 20 grand negative, okay, before we cracked it. So we were negative 20, and we took that knowledge and we put it into our course. And now we're giving it to you guys for, whatever price it is these days. And you guys get that 20 grand of trial and error we had. I mean, we did get our money back. Okay. By the way, we ended up making about 100 grand on Pinterest in Q1 of 2019. So that was 100 grand in profit. So we made our 20 grand back, but most people aren't willing to put out 20 G's to figure out a traffic source. Okay. Yeah. You were stressing at 500, you know what I'm saying? And then we're like, no, man, just keep going. It's going to work out. It's going to start to optimize. And sure enough, it did. Okay. Exactly the same thing we saw after 20 grand, you saw after like 500, $1,000. And now you're making $300 a day on autopilot, kind of. I mean, you don't really do a lot of optimization, do you?
Yeah, I really don't.
So $300 a day on autopilot for, a course that you invested. I think the time we were at like $24.97 as our course. I know there's guys out there that sell courses for less and guys that sell courses for more. I'm not willing to give away the information in that course, because I don't want like 100,000 people jumping on that same campaign and screwing it up for the guys that are willing to invest in us. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a handful of students, and the students that we have are using that campaign, but there's a lot of people out there that buy that particular offer. And that's why we keep our course price kind of high, because, the knowledge is worth it. I mean, it really is. I mean, you have a skill now, you could take that Pinterest knowledge you have, and you could pretty much go to any e-com store or any ad agency, and you could become their Pinterest media buyer. I mean, legitimately, it'd probably make 100 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, the tips and tricks that you guys share, I mean, that saved me a ton of money. Like, number one, you guys did the spending. You figured it out, you cracked it, you gave it to me.
Right.
But like the tips and tricks, like if I were to try it myself, like to open up certain things without giving away secrets, it's like, man, like I would blow a ton of money. I'd probably give up, and it wouldn't work.
Right.
So that's the value.
Yeah. So for the people that are interested in buying the lead gen affiliate program from us, I'm going to put a link below. And like I said, I'm not hard selling anybody on this. This is proof in the pudding that our Pinterest training and our Facebook training is probably second to none. I haven't seen anybody. I've been through a lot of trainings myself, Victor. I still buy courses, because if I feel like somebody's like got an edge up on me, I want to know what the hell they're doing, and I want to go through their course. Now, every once in a while, I do learn something. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like all bad information out there. I learned an optimization trick from an e-com guy that I never seen before. So I was like, whoa, this guy really nailed it here. So I'm using that trick now myself. So, there's always another level of information. And one of the things you got to understand as an internet marketer is you got to never close the book on your education, because your education is an ongoing process. It's going to be for the rest of your life. You're an affiliate marketer, and you're going to have to keep learning and adjusting to the landscape as it changes dynamically almost every day. So
yeah. I think another thing worth mentioning is, like, let's say, for example, I've had my success before, but it was kind of like short-lived, right? You do that for a year, you coast for a year, and then now you're like, okay, what's next? Because it's always evolving. Like Facebook is changing, Pinterest is changing, Snapchat is changing.
Yep.
Every traffic source is changing, getting more strict, and you're like, okay, what's working right now? Or else I need a 9 to 5 again. So that's when the courses come in. That's when the relationships come in. Like,
Yeah.
you look at Brian, you look at Ross, and you're like, okay, these guys are still in it. They're crushing it. Like, I want to be friends with these guys.
Right.
That's what it really comes down to.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you know, we always figure out stuff by testing. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody out there, like, you know, if you get a campaign that working right now, you got this campaign working on Pinterest, but you know, you probably should be testing stuff right now because you don't know when that's going to like run out of juice. You know what I'm saying? At some point, that's going to run out of juice. There's no such thing as a campaign that lasts forever, unfortunately. Or Pinterest changes their algorithm, or ClickBank gets sued or something. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know what's going to happen. You know, I'm not going to say any of those things are going to happen, but it's possible. I was running a life insurance offer on Friday, and they paused the offer on me. Like after I spent all this time, money, and effort to build like this whole campaign out, and then I went over to another affiliate network, and they're like, "Yeah, we got the same offer, and we're paying higher." I'm like, okay, so I switched over. It took like 5 minutes to switch everything over, the links and stuff. But it's just like that's how this business is. It's like evolving, and you constantly have to like look at all the moving parts. Like, you know, this affiliate network's only willing to pay this much. Well, you know, fortunately, you have a group now. We have a Facebook group, and you can go into that group and be like, hey guys, you know, I'm getting paid out this, you know, amount at this affiliate network. Do you have any other opportunities? Maybe another affiliate manager that might be at another network. And you had mentioned you had knew someone over at W4 Networks, and I knew somebody too. I hit up my girl. Well, A4D was paying $12 on this offer, and W4 was paying $17 on the same exact offer. It's the same freaking offer. So yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I just made, you know, that's almost like a 40% increase in my payout. It's going to make a huge difference in my campaign. So, you know, that's why you have, you know, you join a course in a community because, you know, we have a weekly call. Right now we're doing Tuesdays. We might be switching it to Mondays, but we have a weekly call every week, and we get in there, and you know, the guys that are making things happen, like you're on the call every week. You're asking questions, we're answering your questions, and then we're learning stuff from you guys too. You know, if you guys come up with something that's creative, we're going to try it out too. We're all kind of in this together. I mean, you want to be around guys that are actually doing it and running traffic. Okay, a lot of these guys, unfortunately, are selling courses out there, and they're kind of like, for lack of a better term, has-beens. Okay, they probably had success in, you know, whatever year they were running traffic or years, and they're not running traffic anymore. Their main focus is selling the course. The course for me and Ross and I is just a secondary thing. We put it out there to build our community, and you know, get some people to possibly work for us, like you coming on and joining us as a media buyer. That we put that course out there for stuff like that. Okay, we haven't even mass marketed our course. We're not trying to mass market our course at this point. We're affiliate marketers. We're buying traffic just like you are. You know, we were comparing stats the other day. I'm running traffic. Ross is running traffic. You're running traffic. You know, we're actually doing the stuff that actually we teach in the course, and the fact that we're doing it today in today's, you know, environment makes it so much more valuable to other students that could possibly join into the group, because they're getting the stuff that's working right now today, that's actually happening on the, you know, internet today. If you're learning from somebody who taught a course in, you know, 2000, you know, did the stuff in 2016 and 2017, which I know for a fact some of the guys that are selling courses today didn't run traffic since then. It's a totally different world. It's not even close. I mean, it's just, I saw some kid the other day on YouTube. He was still pushing. He took Rob and Jerry's system, okay, and he did a YouTube video on how to make money on Facebook. And he had, I saw his lander. It was the same stupid, you know, yellow and blue quiz lander in a diet offer on ClickBank on Facebook. I'm like, dude, I put a comment on this thing. I'm like, bro, this shit hasn't worked in like 4 years. I'm like, yeah, you might get your ads approved, you might get up and running, but as soon as you hit like $200 in ad spend, you're gonna get your account banned and probably your whole profile. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, why are you teaching this to people? It's bad information, man. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I mean, I've been through that course. I know exactly. That's where I started, actually. And
I've been through both of his courses. I mean, there's good information as far as the psychology goes, but in terms of like traffic and what they're running, it doesn't work anymore, and it hasn't worked for a while. So the psychology of their ad development and the creative side of that course is very good.
The high click-through images, yeah.
Yes, very good. And that's exactly how I learned how to do what I know how to do from that course. But we've all learned from somebody, you know what I'm saying? We all have mentors. So in terms of what I got out of that course, and I've brought it in and actually applied it, and I'm still applying it, then I show people how to actually apply it in today's environment, which is where their course is lacking, because they're not running those offers anymore. Those offers don't even work anymore. I mean, they still convert, but you just can't run them on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even really run them on Pinterest. I think, have you tried to get a diet offer approved?
No, not even gonna try. Not even gonna try.
Yeah, because if you do, then they might shut down your account that's making $300 a day, and it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they've shut me down before. They kind of
Uh-huh.
came back like, oh, we're sorry, but you can't do certain things like this and that.
Right.
Because I was already spending at the time. They're like, we want to keep you on, just don't do
Mhm.
this. But
Yeah.
maybe a new guy that would come on, they'd be like, all right, you're banned. Just
Instant ban. Yeah, I worked so hard, like in it was August of 2000. I don't know when this, wherever you guys are watching this interview, this August of 2019. I literally spent an entire month just like going back and forth with Facebook, trying to get my business managers, my accounts. Some of my profiles were banned from advertising completely. I spent a month. All I did for the whole month is just every day, like email them back and forth, back and forth. Every single like page that was banned, every single account that was banned. And over the course of a month, I got back like 90% of what was banned. Okay. It took me like a month. And now I'm super cautious about what I'll run on Facebook. Okay. Like I'm running ecom, I'm running life insurance right now. I'm running auto insurance. I'm running like white hat stuff. I'm running traffic for my events, but like I am not going to push the needle with Facebook anymore. It's just not worth it, because they don't mess around, man. Like they will literally like they can see like all the accounts that are kind of like intertwined to whatever you're running, like through pages and different profiles. And they what they did to me at one time, they just wiped me out completely. Like they dropped the nuclear bomb on my entire operation. My business managers, they nailed them all. Personal profiles, they nailed them all. Fan pages, they nailed them all. Now, mind you, I have like businesses that are like services businesses here in Vegas, and I need to run ads for those businesses. And I'm like, dude, I can't even run ads for my regular businesses. They're like white hat as you get, bachelorette parties in Vegas. And it's like, so I'm just careful, man. You just got to be super careful these days. For those of you guys who are watching, if you want to go down the blackout route, man, that's not what I recommend these days. Stay white hat. The margins aren't going to be as high. Let Victor's on a nice $300 a day campaign, and he's got other campaigns running on Facebook. What are you, Victor, what are you probably doing right now? 500 to $1,000 a day between all your campaigns?
Oh, no. I mean, the other ones are pretty skilled. So the other ones, yeah, we're doing thousands
a day. Okay, nice. Nice. So hey,
yeah.
Here's a guy that went through our course. He's doing $1,000 a day, and he still bought our course because he wanted to learn Pinterest. Now he's got a whole nother. What happens if Facebook wipes you out? You still got your Pinterest running. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
you don't want to have one traffic source in this business.
Yeah, it's all white hat. It's all lead gen. And here's the thing, right? There was that progression, right? I took those courses, Rob and Jerry. I learned the imaging. I had my breakthrough on Facebook. I knew it worked. And I was like, okay, what's next? Because I just got banned. I lost my personal ad account. When that happens, you can't run anything.
Yep.
You literally go create a new profile. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be white hat from now on. So it's all like insurance, auto stuff. Yeah, it's all the clean stuff.
And I highly recommend verifying like your LLC in the back of the business manager. Like I have two LLCs to this address, and I verified those to my business manager. And I feel like when I email them and they see that I'm a verified business with a phone number, an email, and like I have other people that work underneath my business, like they're like, okay, this is a real business. I feel like they actually give me an opportunity to get my accounts back whenever I get one disabled, which is an occasional time. I mean, the bots catch them. It's not always like a manual person that catches, it's a bot. And when your account goes down, sometimes they need to go to a man review, and then they say, okay, we made a mistake. Here you go. So
yeah,
it's the landscape, man. It's a landscape of what we're dealing with, and it is what it is. So, but you're at $1,000 a day, man. I think you're making more than Ross and I right now. We've been kind of messing around with building out the affiliate program for the course, and we've just had a lot of time going to that. I'm trying to crack Life right now. You had said you run Life in the past. I got some campaigns up right now. I'm seeing some nice click through rates and stuff. So I think I'm going to be able to crack it this week, hopefully. But we'll see, man. We're out there doing the same thing you're doing, running tests, running offers, and making money, and that's what it's all about. So,
yeah. I just wanted to mention one more thing. It's like, and War Room, right? And I just wanted to mention, like, War Room, you buy in because you want to mastermind with people, right? But you pay $25,000 a year, right?
25.
Here's an opportunity to mastermind with somebody that's doing a ton of volume, knows the game, has been in the games for a long time. I'm kind of fresh. I've been only in it for about a year, but if you like, I binged on it, but most people won't binge on it. But like if you're ready to buy in, and you get the course, you get the masterminds, you get the group, right? I
Right.
mean, it's a
We're going to have an
no-brainer.
event in Vegas too in
Yeah.
January, right around the affiliate summit, either a day or 2 days. We'll all get together, maybe go over what's working now. And pretty much Ross and I have already determined that we're going to like keep doing like our weekly call, probably like indefinitely. We haven't really put a date on where we're going to end that. We feel like when you guys get on the call with us and we see what you're doing, it helps us too. Motivates us to continue to like bring you guys new stuff, and then you guys get have good results, and that motivates us as well. So as far as like we tell people like they get 12 weeks of Q&A sessions, but it's probably going to be more like indefinite, because we're gonna be slowly releasing this course to more people and other JV lists down the road, and we'll probably just keep that weekly call going. So
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna get your money's worth, man.
Yeah. When I created a spreadsheet, I basically put in ad spend, so how I'm negative, and then price of the course, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in the green for the ad spend plus the cost of the course, so I'm coasting, right? I got all my value out, all my money in, all
Yep.
out. Now I'm just like reaping the benefits, So
That's the whole point of like buying a course, is you want to like, if you take action, okay, and most people, let's be realistic, most people that buy courses don't ever get to the point of where you got, because they just don't take action. Me and you, like I took action 4 or 5 years ago, and here I am now putting out my own courses. You took action, maybe at some point you'll put out your own course, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's the way things work on the internet. I mean, you can't go to college to learn the stuff that you and I have learned over the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? You can't. No college is going to teach that. No instructor in college is going to make $1,000+ a day. If you're making 30 grand a month, you're making more than teachers do a month. What they make it a whole year. So it is what it is, man. But awesome, bro. You have anything else you want to add? I think we kind of nailed everything today. I lost my focus there a little bit. Let's see if we can get that back.
I mean, yeah. So like, join the team, join the group, mastermind with us. We're open to help. That's the cool thing about it, right? Everybody in the group is willing to share. So that's a big factor. There's no like, hey, you bought this, and then now we're gonna upsell you on this and on this and on this. We're gonna sell you a mastermind. Like
a lot of these guys have like a $997 buy-in or a $1997, and then there's like a $10K or a $20K on top. I mean, if someone were to want to come on and become like literally a protege of our whole system, I mean, we would consider talking to them about another level, but we're not pushing it. We haven't even come up with a program for that. So, I mean, but I mean, I think what you guys got for $24.97 is probably worth significantly more over time once you factor in what the campaign we gave you and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm milking it, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, hey, so no one's going to take action, I'm going to take action. So I'm going to be like in that position where I'm just going to ask all the questions, right? So like, let's say, for example, you start a course, right? And you don't take action, but everybody's asking the questions, they're doing it. You feel left out, and then you're kind of like, okay, you kind of give up on it. But if you're the one that start taking the action, you start actually doing things, that's when the real questions rise. And if you guys are able to answer them on time, which you do, that's where you get your breakthrough.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty active in the Facebook group and whatnot. I mean, as soon as you ask a question, usually within a couple hours, we get back to you. So, I mean, if you got a question that's relevant, we'll just jump on a call with you and get it answered, So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll hit Ross up. He's just like in a whole different country.
Yeah, he's in Bulgaria. So
yeah.
Well, all good, man. Well, let's go ahead and cut it off here. Good luck, Victor. We'll be talking in the very near future about getting working on a campaign for you to start running for us. So hopefully we can get that going. And you got 4 campaigns going right now. You gotta get back to work, man. So
yeah.
Cool. We'll talk to you later, brother. Thanks for taking the time today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Brian.
Talk to you later. Bye.